The show is held once a year and gives the public the chance to see some of the most impressive cars and motorcycles that were built in 1975. Concours d'Elegance event director Cindy Brynan says the mansion is a perfect backdrop to attract enthusiasts to show off their vehicles.
Beverly Hills is a very special place. We have a lot of car collectors in Beverly Hills, and because it's in their backyard, we seem to get them to come out and to be here and participate, and we're very thrilled about it. And then we get people that come from all over the country. We have cars that come from all over the country. We have vendors that come from all over the country, and they're very unique and special.
This showcase includes vehicles from a number of eras and manufacturers. There are vintage Rolls-Royce vehicles, classic Fords, post-war American and European models, muscle cars, and of course, sports cars. The display is held on the grounds on the historic Greystone Mansion, built in 1927, bought by the city of Beverly Hills in 1965. Greystone has been used as a set in countless films and is now a National Register of Historic Places. Standout cars this year include classics such as the 1914 Rolls-Royce Silver Ghost, 1937 MG V8 Tourer, 1933 Packard Series 1005, and 1937 Packard Sport Phaeton. Another one receiving a lot of attention is the 1929 Duesenberg Model J LeBaron Dual Cowl Phaeton that has retained its original engine, chassis, and body. Its owner was John Duvall Dodge, whose father was one of the founders of the Dodge Car Company. Doug Skeen, general manager of Classic Assets, a private car collection in San Diego, says cars from the 20s were built with incredible detail.
You can see all the appointments of the car, the way it's built, just every attention to detail is done by craftsmen. It's like jewelry.
Ferrari models were also out in full force, including a notable 1962 Ferrari 250 GT SWB. It's the model built by Ferrari between 1953 and 1964 and was one of the company's most successful early models. Porsche cars are always popular, and this 1970 Porsche 9146 is no exception. Also attracting attention is a 1965 Alfa Romeo TZ, which is also known as the Tubular Zagato, a special competition car built in limited numbers. Crowds are also interested in the American GM muscle cars, including the Chevrolet Corvette 1965, with an eye-catching fishtail design. It sits alongside a 1966 Pontiac GTO, a car that was built by the Pontiac division of General Motors between 1964 and 1974. Los Angeles automotive specialist and car expert Dave Coons says these cars are the best of the best.
It's the Academy Awards of Cars. It's the Art Museum of Cars. You know, a lot of these cars are works of art. A lot of them are very rare. They've been painstakingly restored. They have been reminded people of things they saw in their past. Like, oh my gosh, I remember when I was a kid and the first time I ever saw a Ferrari, and there's that Ferrari now, and it's been restored, and it looks just like it did when I saw it drive down the street of my hometown back in 19 whatever. That's what people like to look at and brings them back, memories of old cars.
Beverly Hills Mayor Julian Gold says having the Concours d'Elegance in Beverly Hills makes sense because the city is one of the most luxurious in the world.
To have these cars, these amazing works of art, if you will, in the combination of Beverly Hills and Greystone is perfect. This is a unique experience. There are 160 vehicles here. They're all kinds, all classes, all colors, but they're unique in their class, and they are really the pinnacle of auto design and construction at the time that they were done.
And for the award winners, its recognition for their passion for maintaining classical vehicles is right on track.
You're listening to Postcards, a weekly program on events and life stories taking place in different parts of the world. You can listen to our show at newsplusradio.cn. The shrinking neon industry and the dominance of LED lighting has seen many neon factories in the UK shut their doors over the past few years. But in a tiny studio in Wakefield, the old skill of making neon has been turned into an art form. Here's Shane Bingham with this postcard from the UK.
Richard William Weeder set up his neon workshop in 2010 when neon was already in decline and the lighting market was becoming dominated by LED. But Weeder says he always felt there was something special about his craft.
Neon gas is in the air that we breathe. It's the most abundant, noble gas in the air. So I often say to people, you're actually breathing in neon right now. You don't realise it. It's just the fact that we
You're listening to Postcards, a weekly program on events and life stories taking place in different parts of the world. You can listen to our show at newsplusradio.ca. India has introduced a ban on one of Mumbai's tourism drawcards. The city's High Court has ordered horse-drawn carriages to be removed from the roads within 12 months, leaving those within the industry fearing for their future. Here's some music with this postcard from India. You're listening to Postcards, a weekly program on events and life stories taking place in different parts of the world. You can listen to our show at newsplusradio.cn. Australian police are looking to fill a unique position, a single officer to patrol an area the size of the United Kingdom. The job, based in outback Queensland, will soon become vacant when the current policeman retires after almost a decade. Here's Ryan Fries with this postcard from Australia. You're listening to Postcards, a weekly program on events and life stories taking place in different parts of the world. You can listen to our show at newsplusradio.cn. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration and Health Canada has approved a new breast implant that doctors claim performs as well as silicone, but has none of the corresponding health hazards of silicone. The implant has been trialed at clinics across America. Before we come to the end of today's show, I would like to share with you an extra postcard from the United States. Regulations over the production and use of breast implants is strict. So the revelation 3 years ago that hundreds of thousands of women worldwide have been fitted with substandard silicone sparked concerns over safety. The issue was with the French company Polyimplant Pratis, or PIP, which used industrial rather than medical-grade silicone. It was yet another prompt to surgeons like Dr. Robert S. Hamas, who've been searching for a popular alternative to silicone. Saline implants are available, but they have more movement, and they aren't as good at holding shape or feeling natural to the touch. It meant the saline product, although made from a less hazardous filling, has been overlooked, and silicone has maintained its popularity. Now there's a new product on the market called Ideal Implant. It uses a saline filling, but the skeleton structure containing the implant is different. It is divided into sections or shells which enable the saline to retain shape and stops the common problem of rippling. The company says it contains no artificial substances, and although its casing is a silicone polymer, it's not harmful as it is a solid. A leak of the saline would be instantly noticed, unlike the silicone, which can be a slow leak over a period of time. The FDA trial started in 2009 and lasted 5 years with a 2-year follow-up. Robert S. Hamas is the founder, CEO, and president of Ideal Implant.
The U.S. clinical trial consisted of 502 women done by 45 plastic surgeons throughout the United States. The longest follow-up is now over 5 years. The results of the trial showed a very high level of patient satisfaction and surgeon satisfaction. We were pleased to see a low incidence of capsule contracture, which is a tightening of the scar around a breast implant. In fact, it was lower than other published reports of breast implants. We had 23 implants fail, deflate during the trial, but they were all due to early defects at a manufacturing plant that did our initial implants, and that problem has been corrected.
Dr. Kevin Brenner is one of the surgeons who took part in the trials held at different centers across the U.S. He says the women he has treated are happy with the results.
They love the look of the implant. They love the feel of the device, and none of them have had problems. And when I say problems, I said that could be anything from a device rupture, a device malposition, capsular contracture, infection, rippling that is visible or able to be felt in a majority of the breast. For the most part, the women are very, very happy with the device.
According to the FDA, the majority of women stated that they were satisfied with the implants. However, of the women who took part in the trial, 23 experienced ruptured implants. 1.3% had infections, although it's not clear whether these have to be removed, and nearly 4% had capsular contracture, which is where scar tissue builds around the implant and shrinks, causing a change in shape as well as pain. Dr. Larry Nichter is another trial surgeon. He's also professor of plastic surgery at the University of Southern California.
Wouldn't it be great if you could just have the positives from both? And that's exactly what the ideal implant is. It's a hybrid technology, just like cars or other things. Why not take the advantages of the best of all features? And this is designed, it's a pure saline implant, but it's made to look and feel like a silicone gel implant. It has a low edge contour, so it fits to the body, so you don't feel the edge of it like a saline implant. It's more softer and less chance of getting firm or harder like saline implants, for example.
Susan Bunch is one of the women who took part in the trial in 2010. She's still pleased with the results.
Gravity had taken its toll, nursing had taken its toll, and I just wanted it all back and maybe enhanced a little, and it did that now because I enjoy, going to the beach and dressing nice, and it just gives me a lot more confidence.
Elizabeth Malander had her ideal implant surgery in 2009. She claims to have had procedures for other types of breast implants in the past.
It gives me the benefit of both a saline and a silicone, because the ideal implant is a softer implant like a silicone. It has the same softness. However, it doesn't have the same, an ideal implant is a natural substance. It's water. Silicone is not a natural substance. So if I am concerned about a rupture with silicone, I have to have an MRI to find out whether it's ruptured. With an ideal implant, that's a natural substance, and I don't have to worry about that leaking in my body.
Any saline that leaks from a ruptured implant is harmlessly absorbed into the body and excreted in urine. The FDA recommends removing both saline-filled and silicone gel-filled breast implants if they have ruptured. Los Angeles plastic surgeon Dr. Jill A. Aronowitz is the founder of the Breast Cancer Prevention Foundation. He believes it's about time women were given an alternative to the usual silicone and saline implants. Some women are averse to having silicone because they fear it may be linked to breast cancer. But clinical studies haven't supported this claim.
The major risk factor for getting breast cancer is having a breast. So breast cancer remains a disease that every woman should be concerned about and should be aware of. That said, having a breast implant, whether it's silicone, it's saline, or an ideal breast implant, does not predispose you to getting breast cancer at a higher rate, and there's good evidence with existing implants that it does not delay the time of diagnosis. So you can find your breast cancer just as fast with a breast implant as without one.
With that, we wrap up today's postcards. For program producer Cao Jianfu, I'm Wen Jie. See you next week.
我要学汉语 I want to learn Chinese.
其实并不难 It can be fun.
欢乐汉语 Chinese Studio.
Hello everybody. 早上好 Thanks for joining us again on Chinese Studio. I'm Yajie.
大家早上好 I'm Ken.
Now, as summer comes, it's becoming hotter and hotter here in Beijing, and sometimes we even get a midsummer rainfall. So it's quite important to learn some key words about weather.
Right. Let's listen to our keywords of the day. Keywords of the day. Today we'll learn some expressions about weather. 今天的天气预报你听了吗？今天最高气温多少度？最低气温多少度？ Only today's Chinese video. 今天的天气预报你听了吗？ Did you hear today's weather report?
That's a mouthful. 今天的天气预报你听了吗？
今天 means today. 今 the first tone and 天 also the first tone. So together it's 今天.
今天. And tomorrow is 明天, right?
Right. 天气 means weather. 天 the first tone and 气 the fourth tone. 天气.
天气.
预报 is forecast. 预 the fourth tone and 报 also the fourth tone. 预报.
预报.
听 the first tone. 听.
听.
As we mentioned before, le suggests the completion of an action, and ma is a question mark. The answer to the question could be yes or no. If it's positive, you could say